Hi everyone and welcome back. We are going to talk about proxy chain this session or this video. We have the files from the last session. We were created the outbound. We have our outbound and also we copied everything here to this server, which is a public IP address, public VM running JQ outbound. Okay. And in this session to demonstrate the chaining, how can we chain, which means how can we connect this proxy to this proxy and then natting it to this server. And for that, let me go to the outbound. This is the thing that we didn't copy from the last session, but we didn't talk about the type. The first one was direct. We said if we do not specify implicitly, sandbox directs the traffic that comes to the outbound to the host sandbox is running on, which means does natting by default. So we have the outbound direct goes to the host, blocks, which means blocks it, and then we have other type like the socks 5, and you can see lots of and we're going to test the socks. It doesn't matter, I mean we can have, it requires its own configuration, but the simplest one is the socks 1. So for socks, this is the thing that we have to define. The type is socks and then tag. By the way, the type is strict. I mean, we have to know the type, but it can be anything. It can be ABC. It doesn't matter. And then the server and the port, and then the version, which is the 5 username and password. Network, for example, TCP. We don't define that. It's by default. I think it's both TCP and UDP. So if I test this one more time, I mean one more time testing this, just to demonstrate, sandbox run -c outbound. And I come here and I run it to the local host that I have, okay, just to demonstrate. It shows my IP address, which means it asks and it shows, it comes back to this host and shows my IP address. I want to connect this outbound to this server, which is an inbound, acts as a server. We said if we do not use it as a client, it acts as a server. So this server is going to up and running, and we're going to connect to this one without doing anything. Okay, I'm going to sandbox run this C outbound. Okay, and if I connect to the public IP address, it shows the IP address of this one. So I'm going to close this, having the outbound, actually not the outbound, I should copy the outbound to socks 5 or outbound socks 5. I think socks 5 is a better name. Okay, so the tag becomes socks. I think copy that, what I'm doing here. I should just paste it. Okay, direct outbound, let me delete these, and then having the, okay, I think it's okay. This is the first object. Let me JQ test the syntax outbound with socks. It's okay, so no problem. Username and password. So I'm going to, let me copy here. That was the username. Paste. Going up. Copy here. Password. Okay. And I'm going to remove it. Don't worry about it. We are not going to have it on both. So just remove. We already know this is the username. I can, for example, have the admin one. It doesn't matter really. Delete inside admin. Just for demonstration, there are two different things. They are not the same thing. This is the username and password. This username and password. Let me highlight this. This username and password are the inbound username and password. We have the inbound here one more time, outbound, sorry, but we are talking about the inbound. So this username and password is going to be defined or added to this outbound, so this outbound can connect to this server. Okay, the IP of the server is this. I think it makes sense when I'm running this, okay, and the port is 1990. So which means socks 5 output. The name doesn't matter, it can be any kind of name. The version is 5. This is the username, this is the password. This outbound is going to connect to this inbound, and it's going to be natted by the outbound, which is the direct and default one. Through this inbound we are going to request. So let me first run this. We have the outbound, and then JQ outbound socks. It's okay. Let's check with the sandbox check C. It's okay. So we are going to run and make sure you noticed we have admin. I'm going to test and show that it's going to run. I'm going to request to localhost 2 with this password, which is wrong. It says authentication failed. Okay, which means it should be admin. And if everything done correctly, the request goes to this inbound, to this outbound. Outbound is going to connect to this inbound and then to the host. Done. So this is the IP address. Let me check that. The inbound and then connect the outbound. The outbound, the socks out is going to have connection to this inbound, and then this inbound to this outbound, and then to the host. So it's just the same thing. You can see direct outbound 2. Just to demonstrate again one more time, I want to make sure you fully understood the process. If I copy this and add another outbound, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, it could be socks, it could be, I mean, it can change many sandbox proxy. For example, I change the outbound to this is, I just type it, this is hy2. For example, it goes to hy2. It's not, but it's just a test. So, and we make this the first one, run it, come here again, this is hy2. So it sends to hy2, which is the direct one, and it goes to the host one. Now let's me review the admin here, the username and password for the users. Okay, close, and then removing the extra colon, which means right now I don't need the admin one, and I can remove the proxy one. So it's much more cleaner on my local machine. I'm going to connect to this inbound. This inbound is going to forward me with the outbound to this inbound, and this inbound is going to give the request to the host through the outbound direct, which is going to be natted by the sandbox. I think it's really amazing because we can chain many different type of outbound, like HTTP to socks to HTTP to, I don't know, Historia or whatever. I mean, whatever the type is, we can connect. So the possibility, I think, is endless. We can have different type of inbound to different type of outbound, and it doesn't matter where they are, as long as they have the connection and there's no firewall between them. We can connect them to the to each other, and having a kind of mix of inbound and outbound and chaining or cascade connection between them. So let me close this. We have the outbound with socks. It comes, the request comes to the inbound, it goes to this outbound connects to this inbound, which is the mix HTTP or socks 5, it doesn't matter, and then from this it goes to this one. And by the way, we shouldn't forget, we can directly, let me test it again, we can directly connect to this one. While we use the host connection through the host connection. Also, we can directly connect to this if we provide the right credential, which is this one. So this is a direct connection from the machine to this host. This is an indirect connection from the host as an inbound to outbound, and then to this one. I said a lot of inbound and outbound, and hopefully it's not confusing. We want to make sure and fully understood the concept of inbound and outbound, and also it does routing, which, but it's again, it's an implicit one. I wish it was the explicit one. Explicit configuration are much more easier to debug and understanding, but this is the way it is. Let's go to the next session and let's have another look at another concept in sandbox proxy, cleaning everything, and then thank you for watching. Let's go to next video.